Hi guys, how are you doing? If you're new here, my name is Rodian and today I'm going to be showing you how to build a rack back and stop end. Stop end are generally up the side of a door reveal where doors fit in, or windows, much the same as that, or at the end of a wall, garden wall, something like that. But generally it's done in 9-inch, which we'll tackle in a future video. And a rack back is simple. It's essentially what you do before you run in with a line. Now we touched on running into a line previous episode, but this is what happens if you don't have a corner, or again if you're up against a door jamb, doors going, windows going, something similar to that. So you just put a rack back in, put your line up and run it in. Now in a future episode I'm going to be talking about profiles, which means you don't have to build corners and you don't have to build rack backs, but again that is for a future video. If you're interested in something along those lines, then please do think about subscribing. The bell is just down there as well, so give that a ring to be notified every time I upload a video. Right, okay, with that being said, let's jump into this. Before we go too far in, I just want a little update on the muck that I'm using. Okay, so a previous episode ago I did say that the muck was leaking out and it was getting very wet. Now what I've done is the muck I've got here, I have purposefully used very little water in it. It is really quite stiff and it is still getting a bit glistening. Now the only reason I can put this down to is the fact that we are in England, we are coming up to November, December time, and it's very cold in the air. So the only thing I can imagine, oh yeah, by the way, all these bricks, they are freshly cleaned and they are dry. They have been underneath that polythene for the duration of the rains, and I think it's just the cold in the air that is keeping this muck from sort of stop dribbling all down my brickwork. But I think I've kept it in quite a nice nick this time. And yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to build this there. Essentially it is exactly the same premise as the first video I put up where we built the pyramid, how to lay your first brick. There's a card up here, and also I'll leave a link down in the description to that video. In fact, I'll put the link to the whole playlist down below as well, so go and check that out if you are not familiar with how to build the pyramid. Essentially it's exactly the same, but you just cut it in half. Now before we go ahead with this, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build it on camera and show you exactly how it goes, a few little tips as we go. So beforehand I built this specifically so I could show you the plumbing points. Now let me grab my level. I'll use a 4-foot level. Actually no, it will make it easy if I use a 2-foot level, so we'll use this one. Okay, so as you're looking at it down, like most bricklayers, this is the view that you get. You're going to be plumbing one plumbing point on the end here. I'm not going to touch it against the wall because that is still a bit wet and I don't want to smudge it. So you've got one plumbing point here, 50mm in from the end. You've got another plumbing point here, again 50mm in from the end. And then as every course you build, you will plumb the last brick. So the course below, you'll plumb the last brick and then you'll range it through. And then once you have done sort of where I am here, you would range the whole section down like so, and it will come up looking something like that. So those are the ranging and plumbing points for this build. And yeah, so what we're going to do is I'll set you up over here and we'll get going. Right, before we get going laying a few bricks, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who gave me feedback on I'd call it a poll of whether you want music or no music in the background while I'm laying these bricks, and I'd say pretty much 100% people say no music. So what we're going to do is we're just going to enjoy the lovely sounds of one guy laying bricks. That's the only soundtrack we'll ever need here on this channel. If you ever do decide you do want music in the background, just do let me know in the comments, because in future videos there's going to be no music. Right, okay, before we get going, we are going to need some half bats. Now I'll quickly show you how to cut them. Okay, so essentially all it is you get your hammer, club hammer and a bolster. Oh, by the way, links to all of my tools that I use in all of these videos are down in the description if you're interested. So essentially all you do, bolster in the middle, give it one light tap and then one heavy tap, and that should snap right in half. Right, now I'm not going to cut this one because I've got a few already cut and I'm limited on bricks, so I'll just use these two that I've cut up already. Okay, so yeah, essentially one more time, put that in the middle, 2 taps, one light tap to start with, then one heavy tap to start with. If for some reason you have tough bricks and they don't go straight away, then you can turn them on their side and do the same on each side until it does eventually snap. Right, okay, let's lay some bricks. Right, we start off with the half bat. I always find these a little bit tricky, purely because you put the half bat in. Now I have to do this kind of quick because this muck for some reason does bleed out very quickly. So yeah, So you just pop that half bat on there just like so. I like to give it a little tap and get it set in place roughly, get my tape measure, and then I'll just tape it up. That's a fraction high, so I'll just give it a little tap, but I'm not going to go too mad with it purely because I want to put this brick in next, and by the time I put that in, it might push this brick back a fraction. So what I'll do is I'll put that in, then I'll plumb it up. And I like to hold my hand on it just so that I can get that nicely in there like so. I am forever scraping my trowel off on my spot board, and as you did see, I always whack it on the bottom just to get rid of any debris on there, so that when I do that I don't smudge the brickwork. There is a little bit of excess on there, but that'll come off when I brush it, when I joint it up, because I will be jointing this one up, because that's the next video coming up. So that's looking good. Now we plumb up this end. How are we looking on there? See, that's a little bit over, so I could have actually pushed that in. Looking good there. I actually don't have my boat level with me today. Left that at the job purely because normally I would be plumbing these up with a boat level, but in this case I don't have one to hand, so we're using the old 2-footer here. That's good. Little tap here and there, lovely. Right, we'll get another one in. Try to have as least amount of excess muck stuck to your trowel as you can, hence why I'm forever running it down the spot board, just so you don't smudge your brickwork. A nice 10mm joint there. That in, beautiful. Right, last one. How many remove? 1, 2, 2.5. No, we'll leave that. We'll do that with a line, just because why the hell not? A little bit of a smudge there. Right, okay, next one up. I'll tell you, did I measure? Let's range that through. Because I'm able to range it right the way through, I'm going to. And that. That one was out. There we go, perfect. Always remember, get your snots. Get that on there, lovely. Bit on the back because it's a little bit short there. Knock that brick, if you saw that, you want to give it a little tap back. Look, it's bubbling up. This muck is real tricky to use. And do you know what? I don't know why. Like I said, I think it's because of the weather. Because there's a lot of cold in the air. So I don't want to keep scraping too much because I'll have to clean that brickwork off, and I don't really want to do that. I don't know why I'm levelling that. I want to gauge it. It's a fraction high. Get out the shot there. There we go. Tap that down. Get that off quick. Right, that's going to need plumbing up again. The tricky part, I find, the first 3 courses of anything are the trickiest ones because they move around a lot. Well, I say a lot. That one didn't move around much at all. I'll trim that up. And that bit, a little bit of a smudge there, but I can get that off when I brush it up. So that needs plumbing over a bit. Only a fraction, and then that top one moving over. There we go. Beautiful. I'll better arrange it through. Tell you what, that's lovely. Right, get the snots off. Have a bit of muck in there. Right, flip round those bricks to see which is the best side. I've decided on that one. Oh, there's a little bit missing on that. Right, I hold the brick as I push it in because I use a bit of force to push that in to get that 10mm perp. it down, clean that up. There's a little bit of a hole there. If I can put that back in there, that'd be nice. Lovely jubbly. I don't know if you can see on the camera there, but it's bubbling when I tap it down. Just, I think all the pressure is pushing the water out of this muck. Like I said, as well as it being a bit cold. Says him wearing a bloody rolled up sleeve on his shirt. Right, now we'll plumb the whole lot up. That one moved again. Very strange. Put that in place. Plumb up the last brick in the run. Like so. A little tap on that front. I had to pull that brick this way. It was leaning over a bit, hitching and grinning a little bit. That's pretty good to me. I'll plumb that up again. One couple of little taps, I reckon. That's it. Right, there we go. So we'll put half back, full brick, and then full brick on top, and we should be good. Half back, yep. Oh, this was the one that I had duffed up from last episode, but I'm going to use it because I'm a bit shy on bricks here. So when I cut it, this section fell out. I don't know where it is. I was going to show you, but that was last episode. So I'm going to put it in anyway, just because, like I say, I need the bricks. Right, now because I'm being cheeky, I'm going to level that over, because you can, to save having to gauge down. There we go, beautiful. Now I'll plumb it. Always sounds weird me saying that, I'll plumb it, I feel like I'm going to jump off a multi-storey car park, but I'm not. That's good. Right, one more brick in there. A bit more muck. Right, hold that brick at the back again, push that muck in, get a nice tight fit. And my phone is ringing, so I apologise. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Right, sorry about that, so we'll just tap that down, I'll get the level on it, level it over. That was a little bit out, that one. Quick scrape to hopefully not smudge it. I'm not going to scrape that because it's a bit wet. And then from here, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to plumb it up. Lovely. How's that looking? It's a little bit over. Nice. Plumb that section there up. Yeah, perfect. And then range it through. So that's come up lovely, that has. Yeah, beautiful. Cut off the excess snot. And there we go. Nice quick little video. That is how you build a rack back stop end. I'll tell you what, no, I'll put one more on the top there like I have on the other side. Many apologies. I thought that was the end of it. This muck is real dry. Apologies for the big plane going overhead, disrupting the sound of brickwork. A little bit more. Lovely. Right, I'll use this big one to plumb it up now. I'm trying to get you in shot as well so you can see that. Always put your foot on the bottom to hold the level. nuts off the back, and there we go. Right, I'll say that again. Now that is how you build a rack back and stop end. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'll leave it there for this episode. Leave a like down below, subscribe if you aren't already, and next episode I'm just going to run this in, and then the following episode from there we're going to joint this up. So please do stick around, and I'll see you guys then. So take care and see you later.